that same question again to Jayashree Kurup, and I'm going to get all three voices in. Roshan, let's hear everybody out. Let's hear everybody out first. Jayashree Kurup, you've been researching the entire policy for a very long time. What is the advantage for the people of Delhi, for the poorest people of Delhi, for the farmers of Delhi, for all stakeholders? What advantage will the land pooling policy bring?
It is an opportunity for planned redevelopment of the city. Today you find that there is no new land that has come into the city of Delhi, and as a result, if anyone has a limited budget, you're forced to go into places where you're not sure about the legality of the land, or you're going into the established Abadi areas or the village areas. This is one opportunity to plan the entire area so that there is all categories of housing that is possible.
All right, Pankaj Kapoor.
I have quite a lot of things to say. It's like, one thing is that we were also fighting pollutions in Delhi. And why the pollution is there? Because promoted...
people are driving to Gurgaon every day.
we promoted longer trips.
Pankaj Kapoor, I want to ask you a slightly different question here.
Yeah.
There is a lot of money being invested in Gurgaon and Noida.
Absolutely.
A lot of money for the future. A lot of money has gone in the past. Now, if this much land becomes available,
absolutely,
if 25 lakh homes are built at 4,000 rupees a square foot, what happens to Gurgaon and Noida and to all that money?
Certainly, it will really impact adversely to these two markets. And that's where I can't really deny there's no developers lobby and push from the other sides. My own sense is like, getting this policy implemented, it's going to be a big step to it. And why it is not getting implemented, why we are sitting down and keep talking about different stakeholders, we have to look at the holistic picture. Ramesh has mentioned about the plight of the farmer.
Pankaj, putting what you said back into a nutshell so that our audience can understand it. You are saying that if the Delhi land pooling policy is activated, these many homes become available within the city of Delhi, that the markets of Gurgaon and Noida will suffer.
Absolutely.
The developers who are building in Gurgaon and Noida will suffer. And you think that there is right now a lobby that is pushing the Delhi AAP government not to notify that policy?
I can't deny that. This clearly really comes out, and that's why we're seeing that for last many years why the Delhi no development was allowed, why DDA also didn't really go forward. It's only now Sheila Dikshit is standing up talking about that this policy should get implemented. It should have got implemented not today. It should have got implemented 20, 30 years back.
She didn't do it either.
So my own sense is for the city efficiencies, for prevailing problem. 1.4 crore population is a complex population. You need the space closer. We need to reduce travel time. We need to reduce or bring the homes closer to where people are living.
People of Delhi should be able to live in Delhi.
Absolutely. And there's enough land available.
There's no reason why it can't happen. Roshan, Shankar, you've heard all the voices now. I think I've covered all stakeholders. If I haven't, let me know. We'll bring more voices on the show. Tell me now, why has this policy not moved? Is there another voice you would like to hear?
No. So they've been very similar voices, and I agree that the broad-based stakeholders have sort of echoed the same voice. I commend you for going into the panchayats as well and the Mahapanchayat as well. Let me give you an example of why this false binary that's been created that, the central government has done all the work and it's just stuck at our end is completely not true. One, that just from the notification to being approved regulations, it took the central government almost 2 years to just have something on paper that was approved. We are in task of implementing that project on ground. And what that means is, it's not just an issue of land. It's also an issue of whether basic utility...
Let me complete.
I heard very... No, I heard very patiently. Let me complete what I'm trying to say. We are tasked, despite the multiplicity of agencies and the political discourse that is there where we are in opposition and the central government doesn't allow us to do work, we are charged with providing basic facilities like water, electricity, and a whole host of issues. I'll give you an example. Dwarka was one of the latest new planned cooperative societies and areas that came up in Delhi. The DDA, with past governments as well, did not consult them, did not see how the feasibility studies of getting water, electricity to them would happen. And till date, till 2015, when our government came in, people in Dwarka, Palam, Najafgarh were facing acute water crises. So till we have a plan to ensure that basic facilities of education, health, water can be provided, how can we allow
a fair
a
point.
new set of homes
Roshan,
to come up.
Pankaj has a point. Pankaj has a point. Pankaj, Gurgaon doesn't have water either, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't have the basic infrastructure. I tell you, instead of promoting illegal houses, my own sense is we should promote housing. And I think these things can be solved.
No, but Roshan Shankar, Pankaj Kapoor has a very good point. Gurgaon still doesn't have water, but Gurgaon has homes that people live in and people occupy. I mean, agreed that water is a problem. Water is a problem in all parts of the country.
We have infrastructure problem everywhere.
Can I jump in here, please?
It won't be. I don't think
Jayashree,
Gurgaon
go
can
ahead.
be. Please, let's not make Gurgaon the model of development.
That is one thing. Then we started dreaming about, and we said that we will make that dream city where we have every infrastructure. We'll wait for those infrastructure to come. Till then, I'll ask people to continue living in slums. That's a very wrong logic. That's a different
How much of Delhi has running
causalities.
water 24/7, and is this a valid reason to not push the policy forward?
Not push the policy forward, no, but I do agree with Roshan on one point. Roshan, please let me make this point. I think I'm making a serious point. The thing is that when they planned Dwarka, and it was supposed to be the largest sub-city, they had planned for water from Tehri, which didn't happen. But because it didn't happen, what he says is right. That whole sub-city was existing on tankers, which is not an easy thing to do. Agreed, the planning has to be done. But Roshan, my point is this: by not notifying, are you any closer to the problem, to solving the problem? The problem exists, and you have to solve the problem. But by not notifying, there are lots of things that are going to happen, and I'll give you a small example. The Dwarka Expressway was supposed to be had planned the area for infrastructure. Because we delayed it inordinately, the new Palam Vihar, which I wrote about when I was in the Economic Times, came up as an illegal colony, and nobody did precious little to stop it. The same thing is going to happen with the Najafgarh area. You've notified the land. Everybody knows there's going to be new development. If you don't notify it, what will happen is that will get encroached, and you'll again not be able to provide the same water and power that you're looking for.
Roshan Shankar, respond.
No, I have. See, we can go on with examples. So, for example, the GT Karnal Road or the area near the.
We're not talking about examples. I actually want you to give me a concrete reason.
Let's talk specifics.
Okay, give me specific reasons why this policy has
we have to plan for the city. That is the concrete reason. You cannot have an unplanned city and then expect the Delhi government to provide schools, to provide hospitals, to provide water, to provide electricity. If you don't plan for where the electricity grids are.
Roshan, you said the DDA reports to the central government. The DDA has been on board with this plan from the beginning, right? The DDA has to provide the infrastructure. Are you saying the DDA is incapable of providing the infrastructure?
See, the problem is that we think that the DDA will do everything, but all that they care about is how do you get parcels of land onto them, how do you get in control of more land in Delhi. But we are charged on ground, the DISCOMs, the transmission companies, the production companies report to the Delhi government. If an electricity grid has to come, the permissions are all routed through the Delhi government. If we don't have a proper plan for each of those 95 villages, and this is something that we are doing in 8 months. As I'm saying, in 15 days, we will have a consolidated report of each and every village, each and every villager that will be at our divisional commissioners' headquarters. The thing is implementing this on ground, and I agree with the idea of land pooling. I agree with the social choice of land pooling.
Give Ramesh Menon an opportunity to rebut your point.
We have to ensure more schools. If more people move in, we have to plan for them.
We heard your point. Roshan Shankar, we heard your point. We heard your point. I want Ramesh Menon. Ramesh Menon has a rebut. Ramesh, go ahead. Heard your point. I want Ramesh Menon. Ramesh Menon has a rebut. Ramesh, go ahead.
Okay, I think Mr. Roshan is kind of talking about it from a satellite view. The factual thing is, when the urbanization of a particular landmass happens, you first create the master plan, then comes the zonal plans, then your local area plans, sectoral plans, and to the last probably square kilometer, the city is urbanized. So unless you clear the first step, how do you reach to the next step? Right? So the sectoral plans, for example, zone N has been divided into 40 sectors by DDA way back in about 2013. But they need to get these towards the notification. Zone P2 has been segregated into 13 new sectors. Now, if you look at Gurgaon, 2006 is when the Gurgaon master plan came up. 2007 was Delhi master plan notified. Gurgaon has already urbanized. We have already created 2,47,000 dwelling units. During the same period, Delhi allowed another maybe 2,000 unauthorized colonies to come up. Do you allow the capital of the country to be urbanized in this rampant manner where illegal gratification